Hi, welcome to Watcher DM. I'm Gabriel Hernandez, and this is Alicia Yo. And tonight we are continuing our journey of Headstrong Cute, Demon Stalker in the Sphere of Chapultepec. Hi, Alicia, how you doing?
Hi, I'm
Hey.
doing okay.
Yeah. All right. You were a little stressed out then the last session. You had time to cool down.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Um, Yeah, so why don't you catch up any viewers and kind of give us a narrative rundown of maybe what happened last session and where you're at, where your character's at, maybe even a little inside the mind of the rabbit.
Uh yeah, so um I think we started at the beginning of the last session. I was in town, but like prior to that, like the session previous kind of had reached town and been like hurried off to a follower's house because Chi-Chi's followers are starting to get upset about me shaking things up around here. And so last session we started off waking up there, and turns out some of Chi-Chi's followers were like ready to ambush me come daybreak or whenever it was that I woke up. So I had to sneak out, and what did we?
I think you tried to
Yeah.
disguise yourself a couple of times. You were trying to use the
Um,
bird costume.
this time I didn't have to like I was like woken up being like there are people who have come here,
Right.
you know, to accost you. Um, so I tried to sneak out a window. I didn't have time to put on a disguise.
Right.
And so happened there was just some guy, like a feathered folk hanging out by that window. Like it was his lucky day. Wasn't particularly like, cunning or anything, just like hit the big money
Right
with
place,
me
wrong
falling
time.
out of this window. I think I did try to like, leave sneakily, failed,
Yeah.
and basically just fell into this other person's lap. Um, yeah, so that was fun. Um, but I managed to get away.
You did.
I did. Yeah, I ran. I ran out of town with the intent of coming back once properly securing my disguise so poorly.
Right.
Um,
Botched that disguise roll. I remember that.
yeah, there was, maybe a tail, poofy tail sticking out in an ear.
Right.
And because I wanted to get back to the farm, maybe get some more provisions, maybe like kind of hunker down. But yeah, wasn't meant to be. A group of feathered folks spotted me right away, and I got chased out of town again.
Yeah.
Or rather, I chose not to stay and fight.
Yeah.
Decided to leave. So pretty, you know, kind of pretty bummed about this because I wanted to, have some more time to hang around, maybe get some armor, like maybe figure out if there's like a magic user somewhere who could teach me some stuff about magic that would help me next time Omakala and his Volvo roll up on me. So I headed out into the jungle, not quite sure where I was going, to see if I could run into my friends, uh, the Drocks
Hmm.
and Gugax, you know, see what they were up to. So I can't remember.
I think you ran into a
What did
zone.
I run into? Oh, that's right, that naked guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So you ran into a zoanthrope. You beat him up real good.
yeah.
And then yeah, I know you ran into some Drocks who were unhappy. They kind of just gave you like the rundown on what was going on with the Drock folk. So
Yeah.
when you got back to the to Mountain's Helmet and Gugox, I think you were pretty clear on what was going on, I think.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, that's right.
I could be wrong, but I'm relatively certain to what time did you get there? It was like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it was pretty late. Yes, I think when I'm waking up, it's going to be.
So I think it's 11 a.m. when you're waking up, but I'm wondering if it's the eighth day or if it's the ninth day or if it's the 10th day. Like I remember flipping the hours over. I don't remember if I flipped the days over.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. We're gonna leave it at 9. It's at 9 right now. I usually am pretty good about these things. We'll see. I'll replay the video later. If you've lost a day, whatever. It'll be a Scully and Mulder situation or whatever. All right, cool. Well, yeah. So you awaken in the dewy climbs of the mountain helmet, with to the sound of giant kissing. There was like sloppy, smoochy smooching happening
Okay.
outside, and the grumbling moans of your fellow listeners, the Drocks,
Hmm.
as they kind of sit there and just try and brace themselves from the sloppy sound.
Cool. Uh, yeah. How kind of mood are the Drocks in right now?
They're not in a great mood. They're kind of just dour. They're like not.
Mhm.
Yeah, they. I think I expressed this last time, but like they largely feel hard done by. They're like kind of promised a bill of goods in terms of this guy
Mm.
fixing them and kind of giving them purpose that hasn't really panned out. Like kind of almost right away, he ended up shacking up with this other Cyclops and like has then been kind of lacking in the fatherly duties that he promised.
Okay. I'm just gonna like try to commiserate with them, like not on that level of purpose, but of what's happening
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah. Sure. Why don't you go
To be
ahead?
like,
I think it's an etiquette, probably etiquette skill check.
okay,
Seems legit,
sure.
or potentially relationship counseling if you'd like. If you're trying to counsel them, if you're just trying to commiserate, I think regular old etiquette's probably fine.
Do you want me to add etiquette?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it'll be an unskilled role, obviously,
Yeah. Okay.
and you're rolling under in this case.
Under?
Yeah.
Okay. I failed.
Okay. Yeah. You're. Yeah. I think your impressions of it are that they're more upset, like of kind of the grossness of the two Cyclops making out outside, whereas they are very
Okay.
much more upset about the lack of purpose.
Yeah, so I'm just
They're
like, oh, is this what you have to put up with every day? Oh, gross. And they're just like,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um and yeah, in fact, they kind of throw some zingers your way in terms of like, well, yeah, I mean, you probably got up and had stuff to do. You know, you
okay,
probably spent your whole day yesterday doing things with meaning.
all right.
Yeah. So
Um,
a little bit of salt, a little bit of salt. They're not trying to be rude, but
yeah. Well, hey, I mean, do you want to help me do some things with meaning?
aha. Okay. So at first, disbelief.
Yeah.
I'll say like you're messing with me, right? This is Jerry to Rick. Like, yeah, you're messing with me, right? Um, but yeah, if you are in earnest, they will gather around you and like, what do you want us to do? How many of and like they're kind of trying to like get in front of each other to be the one to like help you. So there's kind of a little bit of a commotion being caused. Like you can put an end to it, but like
That's fine.
there
Yeah.
is more enthusiasm than there is work, I think. So
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna be like, do you see these scars? And I'll like point to my various scars. Like,
One way in the back is like, I can see the scars from here. That means I've got better eyesight.
so
Pick
competitive.
me, pick me. Yeah, they're
Just like
they're super
everything in
wanted.
the sphere is trying to kill me.
Oh yeah. Uh huh.
But like,
Yep.
if I know anything about dwarves, pause.
They pause. All their breaths are held at the same time.
Yeah, they know how to make things. Do you guys know how to make things?
Um, they kind of look around at each other and they're like, well, like some of them are kind of like, yeah, you can see that you've kind of thrown like a little wrench in their thing. So if they knew
Mm,
how to make things, they'd probably finish themselves, right? Or each other. Like,
touche.
so I don't know that they necessarily don't know how to make things or that they don't
Mm,
know that they know how to make things. They're
yeah.
incomplete dwarves. So, maybe this task of completing something would push them over that edge,
Okay.
but likely they'll need materials to make things from.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're open, they're willing. What would you have them do?
Well, I don't know how to make things very well either. But I need armor because when things come at me and try to kill me, this is what happens.
Yeah.
I get
Uh,
cut.
so they're a little bit confused by the term.
Mm.
They're not super familiar with what armor is, but maybe if you explain it to them.
It's something you wear to protect fleshy bits from stabby things.
Oh, hmm.
I'm gonna
Uh,
like take my sword and like poke at the like we're in the big skull, right?
yeah.
Like poke the skull.
You're gonna
Maybe it crumbles a little bit.
poke the skull. It
Yeah.
does't. It's actually super
Okay.
resilient.
Cool.
It's like a
Yeah.
fossilized skull. It's been here a long time.
So I'm gonna be like, see how this is strong, and then I'm gonna like put myself in between it.
Yeah,
Maybe I
yeah,
can
yeah.
illustrate.
They all kind of like almost gasp in realization as like the the concept you're trying to illustrate like they get it. And they all look around at each other and nod congratulatory like, oh yeah, okay, it's hard, yeah, you can't stand through it, it's real hard. um and then they just kind of look at you like expectantly, like there's more to learn, like you clearly weren't finished.
Okay. Um. Yeah. So I need to construct something from a material that you can't stab through. Maybe with tools. We might have to make the tools first too. I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead and what do you have any skills to bring to bear on this? Like,
Well, I was
trying
kind
to
of
put this
wondering
together.
like what Gugax had around for tools.
Yeah, so Gugax is occupado.
Hmm.
You could try and get his attention, but I think that would be a fairly challenging skill roll.
I guess they'd all be giant sized anyway. It was just more like so considering what's in the area.
Yeah, so that's what kind of why I'm asking for if you have a
Okay.
skill that would help you to kind of get information from them.
Um,
Maybe,
I don't think so.
yeah, maybe if you just go ahead and roll like an interrogation, just make an interrogation skill. You're not really interrogating them, but you're like, have you seen any tools? Do you know what a tool is? Like you're kind of like dropping some leading questions and trying to get
Yeah,
some juice out of
that's
these
fair.
guys who just kind of they don't know what they don't know.
Okay.
So give me
Uh,
an unskilled under on interrogation.
how do you spell interrogation?
Interrogation. I
There
think.
are two R's. I don't know why it looked wrong to me. All right. Well, anyway, I succeeded.
Hey, nice. Um, yeah. Once you kind of start getting into the details about what a tool might look like, um,
Okay.
the one who noticed, who saw your scars from far away, is like, "Oh, I've seen those." Um, and yeah, he indicates that he has seen tools like what you described. Where did he see them? He saw them in the mushroom forest, in the giant
Okay.
mushroom forest. So I'm gonna be 100% clear with you, and kind of metagame a little bit. This is gonna be above the game world.
Sure.
The giant mushroom forest table, the encounter table now, has been expanded and now has dwarf tools as something that can be rolled on it. There's also a bunch of other
Okay.
stuff that can be rolled on it.
Sure.
So, but what I think what since they can kind of show up randomly, but if you're looking for them, I think we can give you like a range of how long it will take to find.
Sure. Yeah. I
But
might
first,
like waste some hours there.
right, you might burn a little bit of time,
Yeah.
but I can almost guarantee you're not going to be alone.
Yeah. What like the mushroom hex next to town, or is there was the giant mushroom forest like a specific mushroom feature?
So there is a giant mushroom next to town. There are a number
Yeah.
of other ones throughout the world.
Okay.
You may you've been across them, but I don't know that you've necessarily mapped them because you only just started mapping.
Yeah, I haven't mapped them. That's what I was asking. Okay. I'm gonna ask the Drocks, like, where mushrooms where? Mushroom forest where? Point.
Oh, the closest one,
Okay.
just to the south, I think.
Okay. Cool. Cool, cool. You want to help me find them?
Oh yes, absolutely.
All
Five hundred
right.
percent. All of
Let,
us.
let's go.
Okay. Let's see how many Drocks you're leading now.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
You have 14 Drocks following you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It is cacophonous. Not the least of which, like, the reason for that is partly due to the fact that they're kind of clumsy from their lack of completion. Like, the
Mm,
brass frames in them are clanking around. Like, they're kind of making a
okay.
bunch of noise of not being finished. But then also they are giddy with excitement and just chatty as all hell about this opportunity, and they kind of keep like repeating what they're doing back to each other, and like getting themselves all worked up about it. All right. So
Okay. We're going south.
you go south. It is 12 as you head south.
Okay.
And we will roll a 2d6 for your jungle encounter. And we got the 63, I believe. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so you're passing through the jungle and you come upon some giant. They're huge. It's like a huge ball, like in the ground. That's
Okay.
it's like a crystal. It's just like a huge crystal, and there's like a few of them kind of lying around. These like big. Some of them are kind of tiny. Some of them are kind of bigger, and they're just like these big kind of globs of crystal.
Hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
Do the Drocks seem interested in them?
If you do, they will like if you show any interest in them, they'll become very interested in them and start like mansplaining them wrongly.
Cool. I'm gonna like
It
inspect one and like run my hand over it.
okay, yeah, they all immediately go up to it and start, rubbing it expertly and eyeing it and measuring it and doing all kinds of funny things. Um, And yeah, actually, um, yeah, I'm gonna say like uh, one of them does actually know what this is, and says it. He's just like, oh, these are Gugok's tears. Little Australian bloke. But yeah, like Cyclops tears crystallize over time. They don't
Oh
like they're
shit.
too goopy and heavy to like
Hmm.
seep into the ground, or like they're not like water. And so over time they
Interesting.
just crystallize. So these are tears from either Gugox in the time when he was sad, or Holmox when they were looking for Gugox, or some other Cyclops.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Can you use them for anything?
He doesn't know if there's any use
Mm,
for them, but
okay.
and I think neither do you offhand. Like you don't know
Yeah.
if your character does.
Mm.
Um, but there's a lot of it here, and it is a crystal, which like probably useful in some capacity.
I'm gonna like poke at one with the tip of my sword and see if it any like crystal falls off or like how
You
hard
want
is
you want
this?
to kind of try and just break a little chunk of it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you're able to get like probably a nice little kind of in your hands, like a rock sized chunk of it. And in fact, when you break it off, you can tell that it's like in so much as it's kind of solid and hard on the outer edge where the air has been touching it for a long time. The inside of
Hmm.
it is like softer. It's almost like a partially cured resin or something.
Okay. What Gugax and Homax are Cyclops?
Yeah.
So it's Cyclops tier?
Yep. Petrified cyclops, or well, not petrified, but like crystallized cyclops tier is the literally the thing that I rolled. 63.
Yeah, I'm putting that chunk in my bag.
Cool. Yeah, go ahead and add that to your inventory.
I did. I just put it as crystal because the line was going off the page.
Okay.
Um, oh, actually, maybe I can make it bigger.
Or maybe
No, I
crystal
can't.
crystal tier.
And it's okay. Crystal Cyclops tier work fits.
Oh, okay, cool. Sweet.
All right. Eh, running out of room.
That's the game.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go um southeast to the mushroom forest.
All right. So yeah, at 1 p.m. You walk into the mushroom forest. And let's see what we get here. 31. Okay. Yeah, so you're walking into the mushroom forest, and so the mushroom forest is kind of like this weird like combination of. It's basically been overtaken by mushrooms. There are plants still here, but largely they're living in a mushroom world. And so like there's huge tall mushrooms that are like tree mushrooms, but there's also like kind of mid-sized mushrooms that are about your size, and then there's like
Okay.
really tiny mushrooms, and they're kind of on everything. It's like little fucking
Mm.
little dicks coming up out of the ground everywhere and on every surface. And yeah, as you get in here and kind of start the Drocks kind of start looking around, you note that the mushrooms kind of begin to pulse, and you're not sure if it's a trick of the light, but they look like they're glowing a little bit. Like,
Ooh,
yeah.
neato.
Yeah.
That's cool. Uh, you know, just gonna like generally show at my assembly here. Like let's spread out and look for those tools and yell if you see anything.
Okay. So, okay. So you can do that. But I don't think they're necessarily equipped to like work together to spread out. So in
Okay.
fact, what ends up happening is most of them spend most of their time arguing over whose spot it is to search. So they kind of, they're like, "I was here first. You can't search my spot. This is my spot to." They're just they're like children. They don't know.
I didn't
Yeah,
expect them to be efficient.
totally. But I just wanted you to set it. I wanted to set a reasonable expectation as to
Yeah,
how this
so
is
I'm
likely
looking.
to shake
They're
out.
kind of looking.
Yeah, they're trying.
So
They're trying to look.
what can I roll for?
Okay, so you're just gonna leave them to do that, and you're going to
Yeah.
search. Okay, cool.
Yes.
So yeah, I think let's make up a skill. Let's call it search.
Yeah.
Unless you have a skill called search.
I don't. So yeah, let's do it. Search. Okay. Roll under.
Yeah.
I failed.
Okay. Don't forget to tick skills that you're failing.
Yeah, I did the etiquette one because I failed at that.
Okay. So I'm just gonna assume that you're doing that for an hour. You're gonna search for an
Yeah.
hour, and
Yeah.
that hour of searching was a failure, meaning you didn't find it actively.
Yeah.
But I'm rolling another
Yeah.
encounter
Because we're
during
still
that
here.
hour. Yeah, and
Yeah, makes
so
sense.
at some point during your search, you start hearing kind of giggling and laughter
Okay.
from the Drocks, and initially you're like, "What the fuck are they laughing about?" Like God. And then you hear it, and you don't really hear it with your ears, but in your head, you hear. Uh, let me throw one down for you here.
Okay.
I'm afraid for the calendar. Its days are numbered.
Wow.
Yeah. My wife said I should do lunges to stay in shape. That would be a big step forward.
Who's saying these jokes?
Yeah, you're unsure. You like it's happening inside of your head.
Okay.
How do you find out?
Super distracting.
It is. It's kind of one of the, like it seems like why you maybe didn't do a very effective search.
Can I use my second sight? Like if it's anything I can see?
Absolutely. Go ahead and
Um,
roll under second sight.
because voices in my head just makes me think someone's doing magic on me. So that's what my instinct's gonna be here.
Seems legit. No.
I failed.
Okay.
Much too distracting. Between the Drocks fighting between who gets to search what and these jokes popping
Yeah.
off.
Why do fathers take an extra pair of socks when they go golfing? In case they get a hole in one. um, yeah. And so, yeah, it does not take long before the Drocks are completely ineffective and kind of disabled here. And you kind of spend
Yeah,
the hour actually just kind of enjoying some bad dad jokes.
sounds good.
Until eventually, after the searching has subsided, it seems
Hmm.
like it kind of calms down and peters off, and only every couple of minutes does another joke emerge until finally
Okay.
silence.
All
And
right.
the last one, uh, what do you call a fish wearing a bow tie? Sophisticated. There you go.
Wow.
Yep. this, is, this is what we did.
All right. So, yeah, I renew my search. So it's after it's been an hour, right?
So that now it's 2 o'clock. So that was the
Hmm.
3 to 2
Yeah.
or 1 to 2, and now it'll be 2 to 3. So go ahead and roll your search skill
Yeah.
again. Okay, continued to fail, no problem.
Yeah.
And so now it is 3 p.m. And incidentally, ooh, Okay. Yeah. So you find, you're searching, and you find kind of the like some tracks in an area that you're searching that are like kind of pronged. They're tracks
Looks
from
like.
feet that are like three-toed, maybe four,
Okay.
like little bird toes sticking in
Hmm.
the ground. And there is some loose feathers about.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is the kind of extent of what you find. Um,
Mm.
Most of the Drocks at this point have fallen down, taken a nap. Um, One of them has gas and is just farting.
Old
That's what's up. That's your
farting and napping, napping
that's your
and
3 o'clock.
farting.
Yep.
Yeah. Sounds like 3 o'clock somewhere.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah. Undeterred. I keep searching.
Okay, you continue to search until 4 o'clock. Go ahead and roll your search. Okay, another fail.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you're searching, you actually find some mushrooms that like exactly resemble mushrooms you have eaten before. So these mushrooms are harvestable.
Oh, so I
Yeah.
can like can I take them as a provision?
Yeah, go ahead and roll 2d6.
Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh,
you managed to collect 7 provisions worth of
amazing.
mushrooms. Yeah.
Cool. I have 15 provisions now.
Nice.
Thank you.
Um yeah, as soon as, because I think you kind of probably pop one in your mouth just to, you're missing
Yeah.
them. And
Mhm.
as soon as your teeth close over it, they make kind of a squish noise,
Hmm.
and all of the Drocks wake up and are like, "Oh, food!" And they come running over. And
I'm gonna point to the ones I harvested and be like, you can eat these.
yeah, yeah, and they do. And they just devastate. If there was ever a chance of those mushrooms growing here again, it is gone. They completely just they eat the dirt that had the mushrooms in it. Like, cool. So undeterred, I imagine. Still, you're coming up on, I think,
Yeah,
5 o'clock.
I will. I will. Yeah, I will try searching again.
Okay, let's get your search roll.
Oh my God.
Is that so? I just want to see what these are. 11,
And
11, 9,
yeah,
10. Man, why can't you roll like this when you're fucking trying
I
to
know,
fight
right?
something?
Yeah,
That's
system is
crazy.
cursed against me.
Okay, the 3 and the 5. 3, 5. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, this is a little bit weird. So you're continuing to search around, and you hear the Drocks kind of yelp in alarm.
Okay.
And when you come back, you like come back into eye line of them. You can see that they are in fact surrounded by tiny mushrooms that have like hauled themselves up and marched, and are like kind of like marching in on the Drocks and trying to like contain them.
Oh my God.
And once you come into sight, the whole like the back legion of them like does kind of an about face until they're facing you, and inside of your head you say, "If April showers bring May flowers, what do Mayflowers bring? Pilgrims."
Mushroom comedians.
Something like that.
Hostile?
Oh snap! Oh snap, dog. Cool. What were you saying?
Are they hostile?
Uh they're in their mind they're defensive. They actually don't
Okay.
have like a means of being hostile because they're mushrooms.
Okay.
But yeah, they're like they see the Drocks as kind of a threat to their little ecosystem, especially with what they just did to those other mushrooms. And they
Right.
kind of see you as being the person who led them here, which isn't
Okay.
really false. And so yeah, they kind of tried to manage them by like psychically attacking them with jokes until they passed out, which is pretty much what
Okay.
happened.
Yeah.
But once you found some food and pointed them to it, they all woke up. So yeah, now the mushrooms are they're escalating and trying to scare the Drocks away.
We're like, hey guys, uh, we're just looking for some tools. If you've seen them, we're gonna get out of your hair a lot quicker.
I think if a Drock doesn't know what a tool is, a mushroom certainly doesn't know what a tool is.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. You want to give it? You want to give a search another shot?
Of course.
Okay. So going into 6 p.m. Unroll your search. This is so much fun. Ooh. All right.
I'm
Ooh. Okay. You find you find a piece of paper.
okay.
It looks like it was kind of hastily written, and
All right.
it's coordinates. And it's
Hmm.
coordinates for how to get from Lagos to Zimbabwe, and then from Zimbabwe to Chapultepec. And
Okay.
Lagos is the sphere of your origin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. So yeah, I guess I'll
You
hold
don't
on to
have to put
that.
that in your you don't have to worry about that taking up a
Yeah, because
slot.
it's like it's information now,
It's
right? Yeah.
information notes, yeah. But
Okay.
you
Cool.
now have the coordinates for how to get between those three spheres.
Uh-huh.
But also, you know that somebody else who is here also went to all three of those spheres.
Hmm. Okay.
So,
All right.
all right, and
Uh,
yeah, at this
how's the
point, I'm gonna
mushroom
say
standoff?
the mushrooms have handily dealt with the Drocks. The Drocks are pretty like regularly asking you to help, but I think you're kind of saying like or at least in this last hour, you were like, well, it's their fucking problem. Like the mushrooms aren't doing anything but to me.
Yeah.
But they are getting, kind of louder and more insistent that mushroom there, it's looked at me weird. It's giving me the dirty eye.
Okay.
Would you like to do anything
Um,
about the Drocks? Or do you just want to keep searching?
I'm not really sure what I can do for them.
Well, we make up all of our skills. So you could say, I want to herd cats and get these Drocks to fucking help me search. That'd be fine. We can try that. Right?
Uh, oh yeah, I mean, I was sort of like more concerned if like they were worried about the mushroom threat.
Oh, they're
Oh,
tiny mushrooms.
that's
Their
fine. Okay.
capacity to actually defend themselves is relatively limited. The fact that the Drocks are scared is really what's working for them.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, how to get them back on the search.
Yeah, go ahead and make a new skill, herding cats. I thought the dryer was shrinking my clothes. Turns out it was the refrigerator all along.
So
uh,
I'm gonna roll under herding cats.
yeah, roll under herding cats.
I
Okay,
failed.
that's okay. It doesn't cost you anything. There's no cost in trying that action, so you can still
Yeah.
perform your search.
Yeah, let me try to search here.
Awesome. Just as the sun. Ooh,
Yeah, right?
crazy moment too. This is wait for this. This is gonna be you're really gonna like this.
Okay. Hit
Just
me with it.
as the sun begins to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, how many are there? 96. You spot the tools. And you spot at the same time, almost equal distant from the tools,
Mm-hmm.
the legs of a man, torso
Oh,
and tail of a fish. And so, like, I just want you to imagine kind of the sideways, because fish can only look out the side of their heads. So he's like
yeah.
standing kind of with his body sideways, but his legs are like trying to run him towards the tools. As he sees you
Mm-hmm.
eyeing them, and he's like, "Oh, if I can get those tools." So this is a Piscean. This is what you're dealing with here.
Okay.
And yeah, so this is a combat,
Okay.
and after if you win the combat, you get the tools.
Okay.
Seems legit.
Sure.
Okay. Want to shout out again to Technical Grimoire for making the tool here for Troika, the little turn tracker. Show the turn tracker, and actually, this is so bright. I'm going to turn on my dark mode. Check out Dark Reader. All right, cool. So, put Headstrong in the turn order. Get rid of the extras, and then I think Pisceans get 2 initiatives, and so he's only 1 Piscean. He only gets 2 initiatives. We start the round. The round ends.
Okay.
Start a new round.
So what's happening,
So, okay. So, what happens for the
like
first two?
narratively?
Yeah, what happens for the first 2 rounds is kind of like the weirdest game of chicken ever. Like you kind of posture like you're gonna run forward, and then he kind of
Mm-hmm.
postures like he's gonna run forward. And both of you kind of back up a little bit. So it's just kind of like this weird like tango almost dance that you're doing around the tools in the middle. You're both kind of giving each
Okay.
other like the crazy eye, only his eyes don't have eyelids, so like his eye are way crazier than yours. Until finally you kind of call the bluff and go. It's your
Okay.
turn. You are
Okay.
at a range where
Okay.
you could sufficiently use bow fighting if you wanted to.
Okay. Um, yeah, I'll give it a shot, a little shot, versus my bow.
One of the mushrooms says in your head, "I see what you did there." Ooh, an
All right.
18. Holy smokes. I don't even think he can beat that. Yeah, skill 3. Yeah. He rolled a 13. You hit him with your arrow.
All right. Excellent. So damage with my bow, 8
8 damage.
damage.
Yeah. You yeah, the bow, the arrow goes right through him, pins him to a mushroom behind him.
Wait,
And yeah, his little human legs just kind of dangle and like kick and flop for a second and then stop.
are the Drocks gonna eat him?
As soon as you say that, they go, "Oh, can we?" Start going over there.
Like, wait. Grab the tools first, please.
Why don't you grab the tools? I wouldn't trust it with these drops.
Yeah, I'll grab.
Okay,
You know
cool.
what? That's fair.
Yeah. So you now
I just didn't
have.
want like army of them running across the tools before I could get them.
I
All
respect
right.
it. I respect it. Um, you grab. So you now have dwarven tools,
Okay.
and I'm gonna give you a gimme here. So the Drocks, after stripping this Piscean off of this mushroom, and eating
Mm-hmm.
it, have also kind of incidentally like revealed a truth about these mushrooms.
Okay.
The flesh of the outer flesh of the mushroom stalk is perfectly suitable leather. If you were to just take this and wear it, it would offer light armor right out of the
Okay.
box.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can wear some mushroom leather.
cool.
So I could put that under wearing.
Yeah, go ahead, and if you just want to like wrap it around you for now,
Yeah.
basically you'll need mushroom leather to make your armor anyway because you need it for like
Mm-hmm.
straps and shit.
Yeah.
But this also can operate as a light armor until you get there.
Okay. Cool.
So cool.
Are you keeping track of that, or should I write the light armor bit somewhere?
You need to write that on your character sheet. There should be a section for armor that provides one armor.
Uh,
Um,
there's an armor section.
I honestly have no idea. Let me take a look at your character sheet. I haven't looked at it.
I don't see, but I can. There's weapons inventory wearing, but I could write mushroom leather as light armor.
That is, in fact, yeah. I think your 12th slot is. Oh, yes. So it does take up a slot. I think armor takes up as many slots as it provides armor.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you can just say as light armor, and then just remind me when you get attacked or whatever that your
Okay.
armor is 1, and that'll what that does is it reduces the damage you take by 1.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll do.
cool. All right. So now, of course, it's dark now.
Hmm?
Okay. We can't close that. Okay. And I reckon you probably want to head back home.
Um, like back to the Drock encampment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it was north west, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. So that takes 2 hours to travel.
Yeah.
And ooh. Okay. You encounter some feathered folk.
Okay.
Chi-Chi's boys. 5 of them
Mm,
are out
shit.
here trying to get you.
Oh
They
shit.
followed your trail out of town. Um so I'm gonna give you a couple of options here. You can stay and deal with these, or you can kind of, you know, turn some Drocks on them and run.
Um, honestly, I think I want to turn some Drocks on them, not because I don't want it to be my problem, but it seems like they're kind of fearful of the feathered folk. Like you said, feathered folk, you have used the pieces of them to make nests.
Mm-hmm.
But in the jungle, like this is not their territory, you know? So I don't know. Did the Drox seem interested in getting some vengeance?
Oh, not necessarily. They're still terrified of feathered folk. But if you
Okay.
were to tell them to fight for you as you fled, they would. And honestly, probably they would die for it. If you were to try and give them a rousing speech and fight along with them, that might change some things.
Yeah, I'll stay and fight then.
Okay, cool. Let's knock out. I think feathered folk. Oh my god, why is Notion being so slow? Let me just grab it from. It was 1.5, right? That was 2.5. Am I on the right one? Oh god, never mind. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I was on the wrong table. It's not feathered folk. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're on my end, your side totally glitched and I couldn't hear what you were saying.
It's not feathered folk. Let's say it was feathered folk, but it's like, and you're about to turn and kind of face them and deal with them, and instead, a knight of the road comes running into the scene, does some
Okay.
fancy sword moves, belts out his name and deeds, and then in a language you barely understand as English, tells those birds where they can stuff it.
Okay.
To which they flee. Uh,
Okay.
and yeah, he then turns his attention to you. Let's see what his main is. Yeah, and how ho, what art thou, bunny creature? And how do I find you today?
What's his name?
What's that?
What's his name?
Oh, he has not introduced himself. He is curious about you.
No, what's his name?
Oh, his mind.
His
It's
attitude.
curious.
Curious.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Your audio keeps cutting out.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's okay. I just want to make sure I understand you.
Hmm.
So he's not combative. He's curious.
Yeah, he wants to know kind of what you are and how you are.
Hmm. Well, can't you see I'm a moon rabbit?
Moon rabbit, you say? Never heard of such a thing. These Drocks aren't giving you trouble, are they? Do no good, so.
No, I can't hear you. What did he say about the Drocks?
He asked if the Drocks are giving you any trouble,
No, not at all.
and then
They're with me.
he says something derogatory about them. And then when you say that they're with you, he's shocked for a moment. As his,
So, beg your pardon? So he said something derogatory about them?
oh yeah. He's a
Why are
knight.
you so rude?
He's a knight of the road, ma'am.
Mm,
This guy is entitlement in a suit of armor.
yeah, I feel it.
But I will say, he is wearing armor.
Yeah, right?
So,
Well, Knight of the Road.
you want
I
to take
think
him
you
out?
best be moving on down the road if you're going to speak that way about my company.
Ha! How dare thee! A challenge it is? He whips off his glove, throws it on the ground, and then he
Yeah.
draws his sword.
Hey, hope I don't die.
Me too. But also, it'd be funny as fuck if you did.
Yeah,
All right, let me get the Troika thing here. Actually, I
the
think
Drocks
we can
might
just
help
use the
me.
same. Sure, it's your turn.
Okay, I go first.
Mm-hmm.
Versus my bow.
Okay, you're gonna shoot him. Cool.
Yeah,
Phew.
18.
Yeah, you hit him. You hit him real good.
Cool. Okay, I know he's probably going to take less damage, but I rolled 8 damage.
Well, you did 7 damage because he has
Cool.
armor of 1.
Yeah.
And he has 7 stamina. So he's dead. You've killed him, but it is not a fast death. It is an
Okay.
overacted,
First.
intensely like he grabs one of the Drocks by the arm and says, "Won't you tell my tale? Tell them how I stood against the demon, the rabbit." And the Drocks is kind of looking up at you like, how do I get him to let me go? Until he finally dies. And yeah, you have defeated the knight of the road.
All right. So I'm gonna
You gonna shake him
ask
down?
these Drocks to help me shake this body out of this armor that I want.
Cool, sweet. Yeah, you get a pretty sweet set of regular armor. It's still only light armor. It's like
Fine.
it's effectively the same as your mushroom leather.
I don't have to make it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have to make it. And as of now, you kind of look like a little night bunny, which is just cool on its own.
Okay.
Also, he is carrying 14 silver pence.
Nice.
Yeah.
I get 14. So that brings me up to 54. Yeah, what should I call this armor?
Oh, I think it is a gambeson. Yeah, Gambeson. Gambeson. It's like a cloth armor, like padded cloth armor.
Okay. You said Gambeson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why don't you tell me what color it is?
Cloth
Yeah, his Gambison.
color. I don't know, maybe like foresty color,
Okay, so
like
like
something dark.
a green, dark green.
Sure.
Cool. So dark green Gambison. You don't have to write that down, but let's remember it because it is part of his heraldry. So
Okay.
okay,
Sure.
and yes, so
Um,
it's 9 o'clock. You have defeated the knight.
I uh I need to actually have to drop something from my inventory because I'm full.
Yep.
Um,
If you'd like, one of the
hmm.
Drocks can carry the mushroom leather for you.
Yeah, is that okay? I mean,
That's
if they
totally fine.
lose it.
That's fine.
Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna, in my head, I'm like, don't say it's food. Say it's food. Like, I'm like, can you carry this
Oh,
fabric for me?
can I eat it?
No, 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 no.
All right then.
Are I'm just imagining them eating that fish mer person.
Yeah. In fact, as he
Like
says
the
that,
horror has not left my brain
yeah,
yet.
a scale kind of flies out of his mouth. All right, so you're heading back to the helmet.
North. Yeah.
Cool. You arrive at 11 p.m. Gugox and Homox are fast asleep, almost as if they didn't even notice that the Drocks were gone. The
Oh.
Drocks feel a little dejected when they get back. Like, didn't even wait up for us. Um,
Um,
and then you all go inside, and I think turn in for the night. Uh, and before you turn in for the night, I want to say that you spend the evening, kind of this late hour, around their little cook fire, um,
yeah.
like with them just regaling you with the story of the day. They just have
Yeah.
a million different perspectives on how all that went. They're enthused and thrilled, and momentarily, for a brief second, you know what it is to give 14 incomplete people purpose. So,
Aw.
that is something your character has achieved. Now you get to go ahead and do your level up thing, where you pick 3 of the skills that you failed at this session and go ahead and try and roll over them to level them up.
Yeah, well, it looks like it's only there's only three we got checked off here. Etiquette, search, and herding cat.
Nice.
Let's do those in order. So it's is it 2d6?
Yep. And you try and roll over.
Okay. So first up, etiquette. Roll the
Pooh!
12.
That's a big over.
All right.
You now have
Rank up
1 etiquette.
one. Yeah. Okay. Search. I eventually found the thing I was looking for, but did I get any better at searching?
Right. You
Rolled an
did?
8. I did.
Nice.
Excellent. And herding cats.
Ah!
Rolled a 9.
Nice.
All right.
You've improved
Well
3 of your
done.
skills. Excellent. Good job. So awesome. So yeah, Headstrong Cute in this episode was able to find armor that you had been looking for. You were able to help the Drocks find a little bit of purpose in their lives. You were able to learn more about the inhabitants of this world, and that one of
Yeah.
them seems to have had a very similar journey to yours. A secret that
Hmm.
may play into what is going on. You also learned that the mushrooms here are telepathic, and that they glow, and that they speak in dad
Right.
jokes.
Right. Um, may I roll for my stamina for like the next day's replenishment?
Yeah, you can do your rest. And in fact, that will cycle us up to, I think you wake up at 7 a.m. on the 10th day.
Yep. Okay. So 2d6 for stamina. I'm at 15, so I was
You,
only down
yeah,
from the
you
day
should
before.
be completely healed, but we'll see.
Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah, you're fine.
got a 7. Cool. I didn't miss my luck at all today.
Yep,
Yeah. So I think we're all tidied up and ready for next session.
we're all tidied up and ready for next session. Thank you so much for playing with me. Thank you to anybody who watched. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below with what you thought was your favorite part of the game or how we could improve the game. Otherwise, please feel free to check out any of our products on DriveThruRPG, itch.io, or on our website at watcherdm.com. We have lots of stuff for Troika, some stuff for Quest, and a bunch of stuff for 5e, and you should enjoy it. So thanks for coming around. Oh, drawn from the margins. Yee. Do a quick open. Show them what's inside the beauty. This is the
Oh,
hardcover version of Drawn from the Margins. Yeah, the naughty
so
monk,
our backgrounds.
local kinkster. This is some mad troika right here. Oh, it's so good. God, that looks so good. All right, cool. All right, well, thanks again for joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful night. Don't forget to stay weird. Bye.
Thank you.